2025 was a very bad year for TDS. The game has been in a dry period ever since Operation Ice ended, and there have been many buggy updates and boring reworks that didn't entice me, nor most of the player base. I'll go over a few things that I think caused this very dry period in TDS history, as well as a few things that could revive the game and make it more enjoyable. The first thing I want to talk about is Alter Ego. The development of Alter Ego has stripped many of the devs and dev time away from TDS, and have made towers more buggy because of said lack of dev time. Hacker is a prime example of this. Hacker was an incredibly buggy tower on release, having a large amount of bugs that affected gameplay, whether it be better or worse. This general amount of bugs has contributed to the gameplay sometimes feeling unfair, annoying, or flat unfun to play. Abilities are a prime example of a bug that very negatively affects your gameplay. If you want to check out more, make sure to go watch the video we uploaded. This lack of dev time also contributed to the lazy reworks, and new towers like Assassin to just be rehashes of older towers. Assassin literally has the same ability Old Slasher has, and mentions this in its own description. I'm viewing this completely from a TDS-sided point of view, by the way, so them developing Alter Ego isn't exactly a bad thing at all, but for TDS, it is, if you get what I'm trying to say here. Next up is the lack of interesting events. There were 3 events this year, 2 of which were Roblox-sponsored events, and 1 of which was a very boring, unoriginal rehash of an event we've gotten for the last 2 Easters. TDS devs, please get rid of Ducky Doom. We've seen him for all 3 Easter events, and personally, I want something new. The other 2 events, since they were Roblox-sponsored, were boring, and there wasn't really anything interesting about them. So in the future, I like to see not only more events around this period, but maybe even some special game modes tied in to play, since the current 3 are extremely boring and don't give any rewards. Finally, boring updates. TDS has had a very large amount of updates, but most of these are very small or reworks to already existing towers that aren't exactly very interesting, like Turret getting only visual changes a small buff, or Archer, which is a tower that not everyone has or can even be obtained by everyone right now. These small reworks, as well as no major gameplay changes or game modes, has only contributed to the boring atmosphere that is modern TDS. To fix some of the issues, they should start by fixing many of the current bugs that exist in the game, like abilities and the many tower bugs that plague the game. They should also rework hardcore, changing nearly everything about the game mode, making it shorter so that it's easier to grind. I'm very hopeful for the Halloween event, although given TDS's current state, I wouldn't be surprised if the event doesn't live up to my expectations, as many of the events in this recent time have not. To conclude, I'd say TDS is in a very preventable downward spiral, although I wouldn't be surprised to see a few of the problems go unchecked, which could lead to more problems arising and could make this death spiral inescapable. I hope TDS fixes most of their problems, and they probably are. However, I can't help but be a bit worried, especially with nearly all the large content creators having left the game, and the ones currently around having lower views than they typically do. But that's all I would like to say here. Have a good day, like, subscribe, bye.